what's so? A lot of people are probably going to be talking about stuff that may already concern them. They're excited about a lot of different things.
Yep.
People might say that the mechanic itself, set mechanic, you put a unit in, it's going to turn everything into a hyper carry versus hyper carry. People are just going to like roll and try to create these, basically a hero augment. Like almost feels like maybe the set mechanic is just a hero augment.
Yep.
What do you say to that?
So it's not a hero augment because a lot of the outputs of the anomaly are actually very like non-specific. So for example, one of the anomalies is just you get big and get 1,000 health. Right? Like that's not really that crazy. That's not going to really change the output. A better way to look at it is like, you know how people have always been asking about a 4th item? It's almost like sometimes you can get a 4th item on your champion. And so sometimes you can, you know, put that on your tank, build a really good front line. Internally, we've seen the tank ones actually be kind of the stronger ones. But you can also get some really cool backline ones. You know, they mentioned the one where like you don't gain mana, but you cast your spell it's 4 seconds now.
Yeah.
It said 6 in the video, but now it's 4. But like, for example, you put that on Caitlyn, and now you don't have to deal with her slow attack speed. She's getting to ult a bunch, which is cool, but you might be up against, again, somebody with that 1,000 bonus health, and so you get to kind of pick where you want that little bit of a +1. But there's a lot of really cool +1s. Another fun one I like is, I forget the name of it, but basically you put it on your tank, and when your tank dies, they become a scuttle crab with the exact same health, armor, and MR. And the scuttle's just dancing. But it's like a big chunk of health and armor and MR. So it's like if you have like a super tank,
that's interesting.
You can do that, and you get like a really a backup second tank, right?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
And so, like I said, there's a lot of outputs, but you get to kind of pick it. You have the rerolls. It'll lean into stuff like if you're running an AD comp, it's going to show you a lot of AD and tank outputs. So there's a lot of skill expression in picking the right one. But again, like they're not that insane. They're not hero augment level transformations because they have to be sort of generic for every champion. So
someone asks, I think Bull says, what about comps like Shape the Dragon in this set, for example, where you're trying to fast 9 and you don't have the units yet?
Yep.
Does that mean that like is it like really impossible to play those kinds of things where you require a 5 cost or
no, not at all, because some of the outputs can be like supportive. For example, let's say you are playing for around a 5 cost, but you can put the supportive output on the 2 cost that gives your team, like, shares their armor, MR, and stuff like that with all nearby allies, to then later buff up that 5 cost you hit.
Okay, so turn it like a support unit.
There's even some ones that like don't actually buff the champion. For example, there's one that you put the champion on, and it just gives you 2 tailored items for them.
Okay.
You know,
I saw one that you got an emblem off the traits.
Yeah, so. I think that one's changed a bunch, but the emblem one, the way it works is you put a champion on it, and you'll get an emblem of one of their traits randomly. So it's a bit of a risk, but like I said, if you really don't want to commit to a champion, fine, I'll take the roll and see if I can get like an enforcer emblem or something like that. And we found that one to be pretty powerful as well.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of outputs. They're not all literally like plus 30% damage, you know.
Got it.